Hello. We're going live. We're doing it fucking live. Okay. So I'll just get this out of the way. This is going to be a little fucking different than the usual fucking streams. I'm trying something out. I'm radicalized. That's what's happened. I'm radicalized. Recent political events have radicalized me. And I want to try doing a stream every once in a while that is just a chatting stream. Okay? Where this is going to be a space. This is going to be a space for just fucking talking it through. And we're hoping that what will happen is we will have lots of people come in, and I'm hoping that some of those are younger voices as well. We want younger voices to come in because you know what? It's the younger voices I'm most concerned about. It's the younger voices which are the quote unquote reason for this. I think there's just quite a lot of fucking media out there, which in my opinion is trying to fucking twist young people's fucking brains and just eventually lead them down to the unhappiest paths in life. And that is why we're starting this podcast. We're going to call it Talk to Tom, even though I'm also joined by Jacob. Jacob is here. And my friend Tom, who you never see on streams because when we stream, he's usually in bed. But he's got stuff to do. Let me just double check, actually, if you lads want to sound off there, want to see that that's actually coming in. No, you guys are not coming in. Well, it's good. It's good that we checked before we got into it. God, I wonder am I?
Anyone else hear that?
And I'm definitely coming through, right? Okay.
It's like me when we play Monster Hunter. I'm schizophrenic, apparently.
Okay, so now they're here. You should be able to hear them. See, isn't it good that we checked this shit?
It's good that we checked that shit.
It's good that we checked it.
Technical difficulties.
So look, we're just essentially, like I said, we do this anyway. We're always fucking talking about shit anyway, and I've been saying it for the longest fucking time anyway, that we might as well fucking podcast it. Right now, you're only going to be able to stare at my fucking ugly head, but I don't know, maybe somewhere down the line, we'll do the multi-angle thing, you know? We'll see.
You could throw me in there, and then Tom and I could both be me.
Yeah, you know, I should have you in there, but I should have you still, like, you know, the smaller version during the game, so I could just have little Jacob. Could be like big brother and little brother. So there it is. Now, like I said, it's been a wacky fucking couple of days, and I guess what the first thing I want to say is that I don't know for certain that things are going to become like a hellscape. You know what I mean? I think it's really important to say that, like, yes, even though the general panic is that everything is going to get worse forever. Vincent, welcome to the bullshit. We're starting the podcast. Welcome in.
He should be here.
You should. You know, if you want, you can probably see us in the Discord. You could jump in, but we're starting the talk show. That way on the TV again.
I mean, he's been on talk shows before. He's got all the experience.
That's true. Why are you here sharing your experience? It's valuable experience.
Low-key celeb.
This guy. Vincent, this is very much in keeping with your goals, your opinions. We are essentially, I would even go so far as to say that the ultimate goal of this talk show is happier outcomes. We would like to. Are we doing the joy thing? Are we Kamala Harris now? Joy.
I think you and I have different meanings for joy.
I can't be that joyful, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's probably not gonna really pan out for us.
Is that J-O-Y or J-O-I?
Ooh, J-O-I. Sounds like a name. What is the usage for the J-O-I?
Go ahead, Google that. Why don't you?
I'll do it right now.
Not stream.
Not stream. That's okay. I'll put it over here. Google Translate. Thursday? Is Joy real or fake? Joy and K are two different artificial intelligent products, each consisting different subset of a real person. Neither of them are capable of free will. What am I looking at? Urban Dictionary. Oh, giving someone instruction on how to jerk off and or masturbate for pleasure.
Well, a whole lot of joy.
I'm glad we don't have the images on that one. You're doing some cleaning, but you'll be on in a bit. Very good, very good. Okay, he'll be on. He'll come in. He'll share his experience. He'll share his wealth with us all. So I think though the bit that we were going to get into, the topic that we were going to fucking get into was again, I'm sorry, one of the most indefensibly weird things that is happening in the immediate aftermath of Trump's win. This fucking behavior where lads are being encouraged to go up to women and tell them, "Your body, my choice." I don't know. What's the fucking point of that?
I got nothing on why people would do that.
Yeah. Like, other than to just fucking, like...
Just a power move.
Yeah. Like,
it's all about power, isn't it? the whole thing. This whole campaign is about putting him in power.
Yeah.
To make some interesting choices.
But, like, why do that to another fucking person? Like, what
do you get from that?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't really think that this is going to get lads out of the lonely holes, you know? Because I do think that that's like where a lot of this is coming from. I think that a lot of this aggression and anger, and Jacob, you and I, we've talked a lot about this as well too. I think that a lot of the underlying sentiments here is unhappy, lonely young men who would like a fucking connection, which is, again, okay, we're here. Would you like to connect? Would you like to talk? You know, it doesn't have to all be abrasive, aggressive discourse. I mean, even that is like how people sometimes will force a connection. Like, I force the connection by causing you mental anguish.
Yeah, well, you know, that's a thing where I think they someone never told them to be nice is the only answer that I can think of to that. And
yeah.
I think, well, there's a lot of group mentality as well. If you see a couple of lads doing it, they'll all jump on a bandwagon. Then it kind of gets all in their brain and too much, and it becomes not a joke anymore.
Yeah, there seems to be no incentives to being nice anymore. Like, there's only you're not really being patted on the back anymore for showing civility. You're being patted on the back for owning your opposition, your opponents, your other side. Obviously, the example I guess I'm referring to is owning the libs, but it is a two-way street, you know. It's like trying to own the person that you disagree with more so than trying to actually talk to them and try to fucking better them in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of like what's really fucking led us down such a fucking miserable path lately. Like, is anyone happier? You know?
That's the problem. They're not. They're not happy. They never will be happy.
Yeah. It's something that I heard said before during the last time that he won. And it's a fair question that I expect we'll be asking it again. You guys won. Why are you still so mad? You know? They like, that whole kind of mentality didn't go away when he was president last time. It obviously only got stronger.
It's never satisfied.
Yeah.
It's like a billionaire. When he makes another billion, he's not satisfied. Mm-hmm. He wants more money.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works.
Like
I don't know. Yeah.
look at all them. Like, I mean, obviously, fucking, we talk a lot about Elon. We talk a lot about, like, does that strike you as a fucking happy man?
No. Look, he's kind of, I don't know what's happened to him in the recent years, whether he was like that all the time or he's just kind of got a bit weird. But yeah, he's gone down the thing. But I don't know if he's really gone weird or he's just playing a game. Because, you know, he did fund a lot of stuff for Mr. Trump.
I mean, there was...
But he kind of had an ulterior motive to that as well.
Yeah, he does. You know? He does. I mean, I think it's not talked about enough is that, like, he has a lot of sway with a lot of departments that were investigating him now. You know what I mean? He's kind of in a position where he can kind of gut certain government offices whose jobs it was to investigate his companies. And it just... That seems really fucking insane to me that nobody kind of has a problem with that, but
I'm just waiting for, like, you know, when they turn, like, Manhattan into, you know, the biggest open air prison in America, and we'll have Escape from New York, so it'll be great. It's coming.
Wait, it's not already the biggest open air prison.
Madness.
Dinner with Andre reference.
Madness.
Yeah, like, yeah. So you know, I've talked about this before, where I think that there was this weird, gradual decline with Elon that I maintain can be fucking pinpointed to the children. Was it the Chilean children? Was it Chilean that were no Filipino children? Yeah. Filipino children that were trapped in the tunnel underwater. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the peak of everyone loves Elon, right? Everyone was like, what you call, oh my god, Elon is so cool. He's so crazy. Haha. He's got that flamethrower and shit like that. Remember that? That was like a big thing. It was like, yeah, we made a flamethrower.
That's when he was cool.
He was cool. I'm cool, Elon. I was an Iron Man too. And you know, everyone used to call him that, like real life Tony Stark. And I think that, like, what really happened there was he got this limelight, this attention that I don't know, must have just felt fucking amazing, especially to a person who is privileged, right? It must have felt like people say that when you have a certain amount of, like, wealth or whatever, that you, I don't know, your standard for happiness changes because you can satisfy every fucking need, and when you can satisfy every need, everything becomes duller. So that must have felt like, just a guess, but like just this fucking amazing thing that you can't buy. You couldn't buy it. I can't buy that. Where was that fit? Oh, being loved by so many worldwide. That's incredible.
So he bought a presidency instead.
Well, eventually, I think he got there. Yeah,
He moved up a level.
I think he lost it. Like, see, I think it all started with he thought they loved me for me, and then he called the fucking guy a pedo, the guy who was trying to help the kids, and he got, like, all this criticism for him, and, like, I think it just was, like, repulsive to him. He was just like, wait, no, I understand. Why do people hate me? Maybe the Moderates think our party is too radical. No, everyone turned Nazi. Shay Cormack, hello and welcome. Welcome to this talk show. We absolutely want to hear from you. This is a big part of what we're doing. This is the first episode you're here on the ground floor. Yeah, like I said, just to finish real quickly, like the Elon thing, I think that, like, he lost that unconditional public love in a way, and it just spiraled as he tried to grip it back more and more. And I think everything he's done till now has been an attempt to get it back. And you know, like, we even talked about, why does he jump so much? You know, and I made the joke before because, like, he was complimented on it once, right? Remember that in the original video, people were like, "Yeah, it was really cool when you did the jump." And then, like, every time he's ever been anywhere since, he's done his little jumping jacks, and you know,
I kind of want. I really wish someone would edit audio over that and just kind of do the X every time he jumps. Yeah, that'd be the best. just throwing it out there. If anyone can do that, that'd be great.
I mean, we probably could do that.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. X-Men.
It's gonna give it to you.
He is the X-Men after all.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. He is jumping and trying to make an X. Shit. Why is he so fucking obsessed with X? Like the letter X. What's that about?
It was his first idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
His first idea for a website that had everything on it, and he wanted to call it X because it was either, I can't remember if it was either for extreme or experimental was his ideas, but that's what he's stuck with anyway.
Yeah, he wanted the original PayPal to just be called X.com.
Yeah.
Got there eventually.
Yeah.
Beyond the Covenant, putting up now. The theory that he's trying to make the X logo with the jump, yeah. So yeah, sorry, I just want to address Shay Carback. Yeah, maybe the moderates think our party is too radical. Everyone turn that to. Tell us more, Debbie Moore, because I do think that if just to bring into the political thing, I do think what happened with the Democrats this election cycle was, I do think one of their biggest failings was trying to out Republicans, and I just don't know why they thought that would be a good working strategy, because like we made the joke. I'm not afraid of making the joke that I don't know, that they would have just see that as like what you call, yeah, sure, maybe they're offering all the same policies, but they're gay. you know, that's in their opinion. There he is.
Hello.
There's the man. There's a man who's going to have a lot to say.
Some wild.
Yeah. Let's go. So I'm here to plug my new pills, Brain Force, and
tell me more about your Brain Force. Will this help me defeat my enemies, the Clintons?
it will. And the West Coast, East Coast global elite. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Well, you know, we hate those elites. That's why I'm so happy that they, all the wealthiest people in the world, saw a 64 billion revenue increase because of the stock bump.
Yeah, because they're all expecting Trump to give them fucking free money again, like they did last time.
Of course, they're happy.
Like I did see a fucking great take where someone, where fucking right winger was going like, oh yeah, just because America doesn't want handouts, that's why we don't want the left wingers in power, because they just like, you know, welfare state and all that. And people going, my dude, Trump gave like, was it 60 billion to fucking farmers in subsidies because his tariff to China just didn't work. And not one of you fuckers raised an eyebrow at that, because that doesn't count as welfare, right? Because even though it's a government handout,
yes,
but it didn't count because Trump did it. And
yes.
I'm like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Either it counts or it doesn't.
Yeah. No, not to get too lost in the weeds of the thing a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I do. There's a lot of that. Like I mean, it's a team sports thing. Hang on, real quick though. I want to say, okay. So there was 4 shitty years. The Democrats failed hard and polarized the common voter, and the moderates. And on the opposite side, you have a candidate that was a president. Everyone knows how the country went during his government, and the majority, the non-vocal majority, voted for him. It's pretty simple. Well, is it though? I do agree. Okay, the Democrats failed hard. They did. Yes, absolutely. Fuck that pig. Moderates on the opposite side. You have a candidate. Yeah, I was president, and everyone knows how the country went during his government. And the thing I want to say about that is I don't know why his presidency is seen as positive. You know what I mean? Like I said, I will absolutely acknowledge that the last 4 years under Biden have been dog shit, and they've been dog shit for various fucking reasons. Like, but at the same time, I'm concerned with, like, okay, but Trump also did things that were not beneficial for the common man, for us we peons, for us we folk. Okay, in my view, from what I saw, he did very much what I had expected him to do, very much what I expect him to continue to do this time around. He looked after the interests of those who helped him get into power. And these are, like, most notably, like, we're seeing it. We're literally seeing it. we just talked about it with Elon. Okay, Elon sees great benefit from this happening, and has seen an immediate, like, boost, like I said, with this huge stock jump. And I don't see how individuals like billionaires accumulating more wealth, more power, how that helps us in the long term. Because that's really what I'm most interested from a government. I'm most interested in what can they do to make it feel like these material conditions that actually make day-to-day life feel quite fucking stressful. What can they actually do for me to make it feel not so stressful?
See, this comes back to a theory I saw before where it's fantastic, where it's two senior business officers in a company are sitting around laughing, talking about their massive pile of money, saying, it's great, it's amazing. Then look at the winners and look at those dumb poor people out there. They can't even afford to buy our products. And then they go, wait, what? And then stuff is done to make sure people actually have purchasing power again. And I think we're kind of going towards that again in America with the fucking billionaire shit, where it's like, okay, but Musk and they want more money. Okay, but then nobody can afford to fucking buy your goods and services. Then your money stops. You understand? If people can't afford shit, you don't get paid.
Yeah.
It's basic economics like that, and Trump never really got that either. It's this question of, but I'm rich, so it's fine. It's like, okay, but people can't afford. Like, you can sell a loaf of bread for fucking $1 million, and all the billionaires walk around going, a loaf of bread, $1 million, that's cool. Okay, but nobody else is buying that, and instead of making $2 million selling loaves of bread at like fucking $1 a piece and having so much market base, you're relying on just the rich people to fucking buy shit. And they're kind of like, Trump is a very rudimentary grasp of economics, to the point of I don't think he has a grasp of economics.
I'll be honest with you. I think he has a completely. I think he completely grasps economics. I think the root of the issue is what you want to do. You know what I mean? With your understanding. When you have like an understanding of how this all works, then you understand, well, if I poke this and I pull this, if I swap this and I change this happens, right? And you're either talking about, like, do I create outcomes that are, like I said, just are they beneficial for everyone or are they beneficial for some? And I generally find that that is the majority of like Republican messaging. It's like it's beneficial for some, and you'll sometimes see a short-term benefit on the mass level, but we tend to pay for it when it is like that kind of a benefit that is received by more people. We pay for it, be it somewhere in the loss of a service, like be it healthcare, be it education, be it infrastructure. Once it makes it back to us, it's kind of been taken from us somewhere else that we don't realize until later, until it crumbles. When it crumbles, it's usually when it's in the hands of the opposite administration, and therefore looks like more of their failings. And I don't think that's a mistake. I think that's strategy. You know, I think that winning strategy is acknowledging that, like, yeah, sometimes, you know, the other crowd are gonna get back in, so you gotta get your W's in a way that kind of also appear to be setbacks for them down the line. But also just wanted to, there was a second part of Shay's comment. Of course, the presidency wasn't great, but the common people don't care on thinking too hard on policies. I don't think it's that they don't care. I think they don't grasp the policies, you know? They just want their acquisitive power back. From the way of thinking is, I could buy more back then, and he made friends out of the enemies that are making war with our friends. Most people just care about living well. Yeah, absolutely. The material conditions. Sociological in a way, economical matter doesn't mind to them. Yeah. And that's what I'm basically saying when I say that, like, if you create short-term benefits that will kind of collapse. You know,
it's as I was saying this to Tom a couple of days ago. We're talking about, like, you know, politicians are kind of really bad at investing in infrastructure shit because they won't necessarily come to fruit during their term. So why should they give it shit?
Yeah.
And like, why should we upgrade the rail structure? Because in 10 years' time it'll be fucking amazing. 10 years, but I won't even be in power at that point. So I won't get it. It'll be the party that's in charge. It might not be us. So why should I go down that route? And yes, everybody will go like, but you're the guy who set it in motion. Yeah. But you're not there to necessarily get the PR win at the end of it for having it finished.
Yeah.
And at worst, you'll be, I'm the guy who authorized spending all this money that we could have done for something short term. I give everybody $1,000 for free, and that shit is, it's kind of like it kind of goes back to running government like business instead of running government like government. Yeah. Because you're supposed to fucking run, like, if a state owns the railways, there are certain routes that are not going to make money. There are routes that are going to make money. But if you treat it like a business, you're going to go, well, these routes aren't making money. I'll shut them down. And you're not supposed to do that, because that's not what the government is supposed to do. It's supposed to be everybody's on an equal footing and all infrastructure is being there. But if you're running it as a business, you go, this isn't making profit. It dies. Yeah. And people are going, but there's people using it. It's not profitable. But it doesn't matter. Sorry, it doesn't matter if that area isn't profitable, because you're running a fucking government state service, not a business. And that's another thing I think with Trump as well, where, like, you have businessmen going into power and they're treating everything like, well, the health service, that's just a fucking money hole. Why should we spend money on that? Instead of, like, you're supposed to spend money in the fucking health service. That's the whole fucking point, is that the government spend money in the health service. So there's a lot of shit like fucking that. And then people say, oh, they threw money at the health service, that's a black hole. And it's like, well, yes, but that's what the government is supposed to do. It's...
I do think, like I said, it ties back to it's beneficial if the voters don't really understand maybe the scale, maybe the time that these things will take. It's easier to look at them as failings. It's easier to just look at it's like, see, it's not delivering right away, it's a failing. And essentially, rather than look at long-term goals, just aim for short-term goals. So yeah, Trump offered short-term gains and delivered. The Democrats offered the same, didn't deliver anything, and not even a long-term plan. They gave nothing and got annihilated. The people want change. and what now, even if it's not good long term, but that's what you get with democracies. Yeah, it's a fundamental flaw of the system, but I think it's a goal. It's a goal of what we're doing here. I think if people have a better understanding of these things, like it's like, what's the joke we always make, Tom? Make rocket go now, you know? I think if people understand that, like, you can't make rocket go now right away, if that starts to become a perception, I just
think if they can't explain make rocket go now,
yeah,
they really need to dumb it down and say, okay, people, this is the project. It'll take this long because certain things, and like maybe Trump offering the short-term gains is much easier to digest than a government that kind of sells you nothing.
I mean, we've lived through that. We've lived through that, right? In Ireland, we make that fucking joke about Irish Rail all the fucking time, right? We knew that we know that would take fucking forever, and you know what? We could also probably we could talk till the fucking cows come home about how maybe they could have done it better. But it's the same idea. It's if the populace doesn't have an expectation that something will take longer. There's not a single thing that Democrats offered long term, but it's worth it for the people. Well, no, I would argue that a long term offering of Democrats, I would argue that it's a long-term plan of theirs that maybe they failed messaging on, maybe they failed delivering on. There, of course, Joe Biden's Green Deal, the Green Deal. I really think that they fumbled a fucking bag there with that. Like, green is... I just don't know why they couldn't frame it as like, bro, we're going to create jobs. We're going to create so many fucking jobs, updating fucking infrastructure, and that's going to help the economy. That's going to change over like dependencies, all these things. Like, I just feel like there was such an opportunity there, but absolutely fumbled. So the people revolted and voted. Yeah, the same amount of people, by the way. I think it's very important to note that Trump basically got the same amount of fucking votes. You know what I mean? Actually,
less. He got even less than he did fucking last time. Just the Democrats got so much less votes than
Democrats.
Nobody turned out to vote for the Democrats. Yeah,
Democrats didn't turn out.
It wasn't that Trump won the voters off the Democrats. Just Democrat voters just did not show up to vote for them.
Yes, they depressed their base by trying to outdo the opposition's policies, and that wasn't what their base wanted. The government must rebuild itself to become what they used to be back in the 30s and beyond. My opinion, unless they get another popular candidate like JFK, they will continue to lose elections. Well, that's just my opinion. No, you're right. You're right. Like, Obama, you know, was... Oh, okay. Thank you very much for joining the struggle. I don't know why that wasn't so loud. That it should have been really loud and scared the crap out of me. That's how we usually have that set up. Like Obama, right? Again, this is not going to be an Obama Gluckfest. That's not what this is. Okay, no. He did many terrible things, right? I think the main thing being like his foreign policy. Obviously, he's known as the drone guy, but he did have the ability to message. He had the ability to message which is what Joe Biden has lacked. I think there was a time when Joe Biden could have messaged, but like, you know, like he's dead. he died.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that he's a little past that now, and definitely his team didn't even try to raise that.
Yeah.
You know, because we all know what was going to happen to Biden. Biden was only going to be a one-term president.
Yes.
And that's fine. That's enough for him.
Where's
we were kind of hoping. We're kind of hoping the Democrats would bring someone else, but they really didn't, and it was too late then.
Well, a lot of the Democrats' campaign ran on the fact of, but we're not Trump. It's like, okay, but what are you going to do that's better?
Tell me what you want.
What you're going to do that's better? It's like, vote for us because we are not Trump.
Well, for us,
they
we're
tried
not
that,
Trump,
and it didn't work.
Vote for us. We're not Trump, but everything that Trump is saying that he's going to do, we're going to do as well. You know what I mean? Like you're fucking the pig on both ends. We're basically, you know what I mean? Like, Republicans just liked Trump. That's like, you weren't going to win over his base. It was just insane that they tried to do that. And again, tying it back into, like I said, well, there's a big goal of this podcast. I really do think a huge part of Trump's strategy that worked, and I think it was definitely like a gamble. I think it was a huge gamble for his campaign, but it absolutely paid off, was his targeting of the low propensity voters, of the young men. The young man vote, right? And that's a big part of like what I'm very concerned about, is that I feel that like young men are just fed some unhinged shit online, and they're just fed some really gross shit. And I am hoping that we could have them come in, and I'm hoping that they will want to talk. And we can talk through this. We can talk through this. Why are you unhappy? What is making you unhappy? Why do you think that this path will lead you to happiness? Because I'm concerned it won't. And yeah, actually, sorry, Vincent. I don't think we went over that fully. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal of the podcast here. I am afraid that all of the right-wing domination of young men's media will ultimately lead to unhappy outcomes for them in their lives. We want to talk about it. I was a Democrat guy, but after Trump, I consider myself a Republican. I do hope that Dems change back to what used to be since the 80s and the 90s, because I know the Republican moderate phase won't last. Shay, do you mind me asking what demographic age-wise you're in? Are you like us, where we're all late 30s? Well, Jacob's a little younger.
Yes, all late 30s. Yes.
Quite old man.
We know you stopped aging. It doesn't count. Like we're old. We're very old. We're just dads. We're just a bunch of fucking dads out here.
Not that I'm aware of. Jesus.
It's great on young people being radicalized.
Don't you put that juju on me.
Content is usually not recommended by YouTube videos, but there's an influx of it. There's not really like alternatives in content. Like, I mean, when you think about what they are into, what young men, you're 28 years old. Okay. Too old for young people, too young for old people. Tricky Silver 5, hello and welcome. Thank you for struggling. Enjoy some lasag.
No, there was a time when you like literally, if you create a new account on YouTube,
yes,
fucking Andrew Tate's content was like literally one of the fucking first videos you would always see on if you tick male as a as your gender, like literally without fail, it would be like the kids get Minecraft. Mm-hmm. Teenagers onwards would just get fucking would there be at least one Andrew Tate video, and be something like Andrew Tate owns female presenter or whatever the fuck, and people would kids will click on it, and once you click on it once, that's it. You're fucking down that rabbit. You start down that fucking rabbit hole because you share it with your friends. Go, oh, that was funny, and then they start thinking this shit's actually acceptable behavior, not like, wait a minute, this guy's actually a heinous fucking piece of shit.
Not to like I said, I don't really want this to ever sound like a judgmental space, because I think to answer your point, what do you think that makes them go towards Andrew Tate? I think what Andrew Tate offers them is what they feel they're lacking. And I think what a lot of young men feel that they're lacking at times, and I'm going to try very hard to draw on my own memories of my youth, and you'll have to forgive me because it was a long time ago. I think that there is, as you grow up as a young man, confidence is such a central theme of our whole fucking identity, you know? And you find that your confidence is tested at like fucking just every turn. Just every fucking turn of growing up as a young man. So when you have a character like Andrew Tate, and it doesn't have to just be fucking Andrew Tate, like fucking any of them really. Yeah, he's a role model many need, usually betas and deltas, I don't know, something like that. But this is the problem. This is where I don't think that Andrew Tate is really helpful, because I think that the type of confidence that Andrew Tate feels or is trying to sell to these men has to be based in this aggression. It has to be based in this domineering. Like, you need to go out there and you need to show everyone. Like, I do like an Andrew Tate. I do like, what you want to do is you want to go out there and you want to show everyone that you're the big dog and that they are the small dog. Because if you are not the big dog, then you are the small dog. And if you are the small dog, then you are stupid. You know, just for fun. We're just doing fun. It's just for fun, okay? Men need to be hard. Men need aura and aggression. I don't know that we need aggression. Like, we need passion. We need passion.
But empathy wouldn't go astray.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We need passion.
It's also kind of selling the ideal, like, the ultimate goal in life is to get fucking swole and be a millionaire with the cars and have lots of bitches hanging off every word you say, you're disposable and who aren't tying you down because you're the alpha dog, and there's none of it like, so your grandma died, how are you doing? How are you coping? Are you coping with that? And the answer to that is, I just go to the gym and you work out and you make money. You do the grind. And and there's no, like, Tate doesn't offer anything that I can see other than what do you mean you have feelings?
Build
anger.
But build yourself. Build yourself. You alone. Stand as an island. Okay, as a bulwark. Stand as like just this symbol of try me, right?
Yeah.
Appear as a figure who is always ready for a fight. Always be at odds with a world that is trying to destroy you. Where I differ with this, where I disagree with this entirely, is what do you think the outcome of a bunch of guys who are always ready to fight is? What do you think the outcome of always trying to put down the next guy to you is? It's gonna just build resentment. Like, there's so much more to be fucking gained from. Go on,
I will say there is a, like, healthy competition, like having a competitive side. That's all well and good. That's fine. Like, that fucking, drives people to do good things. But they also have to be tempered with there's healthy competition of just winning because you're doing good. You fucking compete with your arse off, instead of I'm being competitive, and to do that I need to tear down everything around me, and that's how competitive.
Someone else must be destroyed. Someone else
it's
be.
not important that I won. That's not the achievement. The achievement is other people failing, and that's really the worst way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's kind of like I said, it's a fundamental aspect of the ideology, is that, like, it's never really about coexisting with anyone. It is always about maintaining a sort of a bravado, right? And like, fuck anyone else. I absolutely have like a lot of kind of opinions which are like, yeah, well, fuck what other people think, I absolutely believe that, like, to a certain fucking degree, you do have to live your life unafraid of like what people are going to think, right? And I mean that in the sense that, like, some people will talk themselves out of making decisions and doing things that will make them very happy. Some people will talk themselves into just, I don't know, just like not pursuing their dreams. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, don't pursue your dream if your dream is just to diminish other people's dreams, other people's experiences, other people's fucking lives. You can be the best. You can be strong. You can be charismatic. You can be all these fucking things. And chill. you can be so many fucking things.
Yeah.
But you don't always need to be switched on. You don't always need to be like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to prove that I'm the toughest guy. It's like, so what? There's probably a guy out there tougher than you. There's probably a guy out there better than you. Like, so what? That's fucking life. You know what I mean? You could absolutely try and be the biggest and baddest and best. But what's the fucking point? Like, at the end of the day, I'm almost done. At the end of the day, what you should really be fucking aiming for is, what makes me happy? What do I enjoy? What are my needs? And just kind of go for that. And just go for, like, hey, you know what? I love a bit of fucking companionship. I love fucking chatting to people. I love playing that fucking video game. I like drinking a beer. I like eating fucking Cheeto, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be something that impresses somebody else. It doesn't have to be something that is only validated by someone else's experiences and goals like that. Like, I strongly believe, like, in this life, in this one finite life that we all have, our ultimate goal is just figuring out what makes you happy, what makes you content, and just go with that. Just go with that. Go with that, being aware that, like, yeah, other people in life are trying to find their comfort and their contentment in life, and it would suck if somebody was out there actively trying to fucking tear you down. Maybe don't do it to someone else. That's it.
Yeah.
And sorry, I wanted to as well. Can you repeat the same speech you made, but change the world to capitalism or state, and you'll get the same radical theory that people send to young generations on YouTube and Twitch. You sell what they need, but just change the things that impedes them to have. Literally blame game. You radicalize people by offering what they need, but blaming something or some people for the reason that they can get that. I don't think that these guys want to feel like beefy alpha guys. I think that they are a group of people that just want to be represented. And then these cons come and manipulate them. Yeah. I do. I think that they get a bit manipulated. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel like represented, But I think that sometimes, sorry, actually, Vincent, you go.
I think going tying back into, well, one rebuttal. You said finite life. I mean, I don't know about you, Charles.
Fuck off.
But the other one was I rewatched on the movie Election over the past weekend, and Matthew Broderick has a great thing, because if you haven't seen it, it's literally about high school election, and there's three candidates and the teacher overseeing it, and it's following. It's funny, very funny, very fucking dark satire, fantastic. But there's a prim and proper like top of the class SWAT, who is 100%, she wants to be student president because as far as she's concerned, that's a stepping stone to greatness. She treats everybody around her like crap, but from her own point of view, it's all with the right intentions because she is the best. She is perfect for it. But there's a great moment where Matthew Broderick is talking to her, the teacher, and he says outright, like, you don't have to step on everybody on your way up. You don't accomplish anything by it. I can't remember the exact speech or, but basically tells her, don't step on everybody on your way up because people will remember that, and there's no need to do it. And the thing about it is, at the end, like she gets valedictorian. She had no friends and whatnot in high school because the whole thing was top grades, perfect attendance record, perfect persona, and then she got to college, and then she realized, I thought I'd make more friends here in college. Nobody wants to talk to her because she hasn't realized she turned herself into a horrible person that nobody wanted to talk to. But she never saw herself as that. She saw herself as, throughout day one, of like, I'm just the best person for this, so everybody else should just do what I say and vote for me, and why are people questioning this? And that kind of ties back to some of the stuff with Tate, where it's, you don't need to tear down everybody else on your way up, and like if you're stepping on people remember being stepped on, and if you rely on the kindness of strangers, then you need to also give it out yourself.
Yeah, I think that actually ties back really nicely to something we were talking about at the beginning of the stream. Like I said, this weird trend right now where young men are going up to women and telling them, your body, my choice.
I fucking saw that. It's fucking heinous.
I know, it's heinous. It's heinous, but it's that personified. It's what you call, I'm going to tear you down because this makes me feel good. And it's like, but what the fuck? Like, why does that make you feel good to tear someone down? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where is that going to lead? You know, when we talk a lot about, like, you know, the problems that, like, people complain about, like, maybe you're right, like, I think, you know, a big one is, like, how much sometimes people hate, like, woke culture shit, yeah? I think sometimes that we have to consider how much of that has just been cage rattling. Like, how much woke shit do you think that a person finds that they have to deal with, right, in their life because, you know, in whatever way they contributed to, like, you know, basically running the stick across the cage of people that they didn't identify with, don't agree with, don't understand their worldview, don't understand what they're doing, how they're living, right? Think it's weird. And they're like, what you call is just like, I'm gonna rattle them. And then those people get upset because they've been rattled, and then they go and I guess, you know, whatever, produce media or get involved in media and things like that, and create more kind of content that pisses off the first fucking group of people, you know? I think we have these young guys that feel unrepresented. Absolutely. They feel that they're being oppressed by the media and culture. As we know, teenagers are rebellious and want to be anti-establishment. Yep. So then comes a guy offering himself an enemy, the establishment, the matrix, or whatever, and the master manipulator offers them the enemy that will represent everything wrong with their lives. Yes. And you add that to the economy shit. Yep. And you won't have a chance to buy a home and be slaves. Exactly. You can absolutely compound real problems with kind of like imagined ones. You can do that. You can lump them all together. You can get people really fucking focused on things that aren't like. It's kind of like this. It's like if gay people, trans people were destroyed tomorrow, right? As a lot of like right-wing people want, right? What would change? like the problems, the real problems that you mentioned, the economy, not being able to buy a home, that's still fucking there. You know what I mean? Maybe in the moment they'd feel good because the enemy was destroyed, but then the real problem is still there. There's a that fucking upsets me problem, and then this is a real problem that upsets me. And yeah, I think that's like where people kind of get a little fucking lost in the weeds sometimes. The student loan manipulators give them figure what makes them miserable. So that's how they're idolized and how Hitlers and Mussolinis and Lenins are born. Yeah. People tell you what you call we'll fix it, we'll make it better. It's what I see with Dangerous Donnie, you know? That's the ideology that I see there. It's like what you call all these people, remember what they took from you. Remember big tits in video games back in 2007. Remember how they took that from you, you know? And then I go mad there because then I'm like, what you call the reason why there's not fucking big tits in video games anymore is because it got too big. Fucking sorry, I'm tangenting here, but it's like what you call it. Video games got too big. If you work in any kind of a fucking job that never has fucking HR, right? You'll notice that like all of their messaging is so fucking soft, super fucking soft, right? And
so also graphics have come along to the way where we don't need to go. How do we identify that this is a girl? Well, we don't need to give her the big tits, the fucking the big booty. We can understand. The graphics are there to show it's not a fucking cardboard box and fucking.
No, Vincent, I want big tits. I want them back.
Same.
If Trump doesn't fucking bring back big tits in video games, then he's failed me. He's failed me. He knows this.
And then you have the idiots who like fucking like that guy who keeps fucking photoshopping Aloy from fucking.
Oh look, listen, I'm gonna go right ahead. You know, putting it like Aloy is the biggest reach for me with that. When like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fucking women when they bring up in the list, right? And they say, look what they've done to them, and I'm going, yeah, I won't lie, you know, they look a little rough. Aloy is the biggest reach there for me. It's like she's got freckles. Is that the problem?
Yeah,
I like freckles. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. Yeah.
Like, and also at some point, just don't listen to the fan base. Like, I mean, like look at fucking the Silent Hill fan base shitting for fucking ages on Bloober, and then like Bloober turned around and went like, oh, actually, this game's actually nominated for fucking Game of the Year. And does it have some problems? Yeah, but it's nowhere near the fucking shit show that the fan base was making it out to be, because fuck my life. That was
but
death threats over a game.
Okay, no, never death threats. Never death threats. You are always immediately in the wrong if you send death threats.
Yeah.
But no, I want to disagree when I say don't listen to the fan base. I feel like they did listen to the fan base because
there's no proof of that.
I do, because they changed a few subtle little things. When the initial stuff came out and it didn't look good, they took on board some criticism and they tuned a few things. Not everything. I understand that there were some things that people still complained about afterwards that didn't need to be changed. But there were definitely some aesthetic things, you know, that they took on board, and what you call the overall experience, I think, was improved. Civilized and friendly, absolutely, absolutely. That is the whole goal of this, Shay. Is that like what you call? Never are we here to tell you what you call. No, you're stupid and wrong, and how dare you, and you hate women, or anything like that. Tom, why are you laughing at that?
I know, Lori's in, carry on.
No, that's not the goal. That's not the goal. I want to talk to people who are in this space. I want to know what they're upset about. I want to know what they're mad about. And I want to ask them where they think that, following that through is going to lead them. And share a little life experience along the fucking way. Sorry, you do not agree that Trump is the type of radical leader. In fact, I completely disagree, but agree with your point. we need to get together and find a way to fix these problems. But at the end of the day, a leader of groups with power are more interested in keeping fear as a way to keep the group and their power strong, rather than the problems that keep the group together. Now, I do think we should absolutely tear into that, right? Trump as a radical figure. Thesis and antithesis, right? People forget about that. Tom?
No, I don't think Trump is a radical leader.
Go on.
He surrounded himself with people that of questionable morals sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think. I think he's just kind of like. He does like to say things a lot of the time just to get in the front page of the newspaper or whatever.
It's
but
that
I don't.
showman shit.
Yeah, 100%. He knows how to manipulate the media. That's his whole bag.
Yeah.
Really. He just knows how to be in front and center. They're talking about me. I love me. And the problem is, it's the people around him really are going to be the issue, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
From what we've heard from his last presidency, he doesn't have an amazing focus when dealing with certain things, but he just kind of hops from one to the other for whatever works at the time. But I don't think he's a radical leader. I don't think he is interested in that. I think he's just interested in making money.
That's kind of my biggest concern with him. I think that as a leader, you know what I mean, the core thing that you should be able to offer is how you are going to look after your constituents' best interests. Trump needs to be the controversial guy because he needs to keep this figure, but he's a moderate guy. He's kind of whatever he fucking wants to be. You know what I mean? Like, this is the crazy thing. You'll remember, like, when he originally ran, he was, like, pro-LGBT. He used to say comments like, Caitlyn Jenner can use whatever bathroom she wants when it comes to Trump Tower, And then,
that's what I mean.
The people around him, the people around him, were the ones who wanted more anti-trans stuff, right? And then he became an anti-trans guy, that way. Like, Elon is definitely like he's real anti-trans. He's got a real bone to pick there. Whereas, like, for Trump, it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't really care. A lot of people that voted on him wanted that Project 2025 thing to be real, when in fact he is against it. But does go on.
No, I genuinely think he's not crazy enough to do that stuff.
Yeah.
He just said, absolutely, we'll do Project 2025. It'll be amazing. We'll do it. And now he's in power. He's gonna be like, too busy doing other things of more interest to me.
The thing is, he might not want to do it, but he'll have people in around him who do want to do it. That's the problem there. The Trump himself might not be the guy who pulls the trigger on shit, but it's the people around him that he pulls into cabinet. They're the ones who go, but we have the binder of Project 2025, and they're the ones who are going to be the ones, and that Trump may not rein them in because they're his buddies, and he.
Well, I don't think he has enough investment to rein them in. That's what I mean when I say that. Like, he is a self-interested guy. He has specific interests. I do think he's kind of a legacy guy. I think he's definitely of that age where he where he would want that legacy. But I think that ultimately, yes, as a businessman, why should anyone be surprised when all of his main goals are to make more money for himself, his businesses? If he has to sell out certain parties, if he has to sell out certain countries, just, I don't know. It's not what I would want. It's not what I would want out of leadership. It's like, We're the type that will be seen as the peons in the plan. But yeah, sorry, RFK would destroy them if the Dems accepted him. RFK is such a fucking... I mean, I'm gonna just say I don't like him. I'm gonna flat out say I don't like him. And I'm gonna say, like, I don't like him as a person. I think that I dislike that he's got this, like, I'm not a doctor, but let me tell you how I think medicine, all these medicines are bad and these ones are good. I fucking hate that shit. I hate people who aren't like doctors or scientists or whatever who want to come in and be like, what you call it. But anyway, but let me tell you why you're wrong about vaccines and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Fundamentally, like, I'm a guy who, I like science. You know, I have a bit of an interest in it. I'm not a scientist, but you know what I mean? Like, I could follow it, I suppose, like, is what I would say to a degree. So, I don't know. For me, then it kind of just comes across as just kind of like, nah, man, you're just yapping.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
See, you know, Tim Curry had it all figured out, like, you know?
Hi, Bill, now how are you?
He never did, never said he would do it. And his entire council would never accept that shit. I don't know, man. Like, it's a plan drafted up by, like, who is it? What the fuck is that? What are they called? Who wrote 2025, Project 2025 again? The entire point of the reps campaign and structure. Damn it, Jacob! Since
It was all
2020,
me.
this changed the image of being the radical Nazi party, and the media portrayed them to be. They would never do that. Poor Tim Curry there. Elon Musk is going there to my asteroids. No! Elon can't have all of the space medals. He won't share. He'll only share them with his seed. Fucking legacy boy. Yeah, but yeah, sorry, yeah, RFK can go get fucked. I'm sorry, I don't like him. I'm sorry, I really don't like him.
RFK is the guy with the brainworms, am I correct?
Yeah,
or
it's the guy with the brainworms, and like when he explained like the bear story, I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I keep getting him and JD Vance because both of them have the most stupidest fucking animal stories involved with them, and I keep fucking forgetting which one is which because you should not be in politics.
Well, no, but like another reason as well that I don't like RFK was the weirdness surrounding you know, like his wife who killed herself. Like, I don't know how many people know this fucking story, but like he had a wife that he cheated on. They divorced. He prevented her from ever seeing her kids.
Oh yeah,
She killed herself, and then in her eulogy, he says, "Oh, I actually spoke with her just like a day before, and in it she apologized and she said that everything was her fault." And it's like, I don't know, maybe don't like blame her for everything at her own funeral. Like, I get,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I just want to be clear. I dislike RFK's character. It's his character. But I dislike Trump's character. A lot of these people who I'm at odds with, there are aspects of their character that they do not jive with me. Project 25 would never be accepted by the party itself, not even saying Congress or Senate or House. It's like full open drugs forced on all states by Harris or something. It's literal political suicide.
I
jokes.
kind of disagree a little bit here because Obamacare was treated the same way. Like socialized medical care in all states. That's political suicide. And
I hate that. That's another one. I hate that where like it can be argued that we really need making like healthcare a culture war issue. That's at the heart of this too. Is that like I think a huge part of growing up now, you learn about a thing and you're told this falls on one side of the fence. Okay, that's it. It's kind of like, so you got like, say like guns, yeah? And you got like healthcare, right? We'll say two issues here. It's like guns, boom. That is immediately, that is the right-wing team's thing. That's our thing. That's our topic. Whenever that is brought up, you will understand that that's a right-wing thing. It belongs to them. And there will be only advocacy for their defense when you are in the right wing. There will be no criticism of that. And when you are on the other side, there will only be advocacy for their dismantling and removal and stuff like that. Culture war, party line division. The same, it goes for healthcare. You will understand that a socialized healthcare service is a culture war issue. That is their thing. That is the Democrats' thing, and it is therefore bad. You will only criticize it. You will not ever hear them out. You will not ever talk about a way to make it work. It is the other team's thing, and it is therefore bad. I honestly and respectfully disagree that you can compare Obamacare with Project 2025. That's fair.
The main reason I'm bringing it up is it's something that was always considered political suicide for fucking years before Obama actually said, you know what, fuck it, I'm on my second term, I don't give a shit, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where
Biden pulling out
as a position.
Biden pulling out of Afghanistan. Biden did it because, why did Biden do it and no one else did it? Because everyone else knew that it was going to be a bad look. There was no smooth and easy pullout of Iraq, right? Afghanistan.
Trump had said that they were going to do it, and he just simply...
No, but he wasn't going to do it. No one did it. Obama didn't do it, and Trump didn't do it because it was always going to look bad. But there's only one reason why Joe Biden did it: sentiment.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that it was a sentimental reason that he pulled out because as we know, one of his sons contracted cancer or something from the munitions or whatever over there, something like that.
So back in 1 second, sorry.
Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's like sorry, I know Vincent was originally talking, but an unpopular thing, you kind of just sort of do it when you don't care. Probably you could say that Biden pulling out of Iraq was the most telling side, that he thought, yeah, no, I'm not coming back for a round two. I don't give a fuck. But now, but no, I see where you would say that you would disagree with comparing them. I think he just means in abstracts. In terms of popularity when you push something. Yeah. Project 2025, I think, is a bit of a cultural mouthful. I think that even within Trump's base, yes, I do think that I think you have both sides of it. I think you have the sides who are really into it, and I think you have the sides that are, not so good. Hear that take? Is that it seems political suicide, but national healthcare. Was it really a national free healthcare? Can it be compared to literal prison camps for people of different sexual views? National healthcare can be debated and should on a question of morals. 2025 is literally immoral in all views. I'm glad that we can agree that 2025 is bad. That's right. I think that's good. I think everyone here would rather that it did not see any traction. Dom? He's gone. Jacob?
It's bad.
It's bad. We don't want any traction on Project 2025. But bringing it back to, like I said, I fucking hate that shit.
Sorry.
That shit gets shuffled to just fucking sides of a fucking fence, and that's it. It's over. It's done. And that's a big part, I guess, of what I want to try to discuss here. You even said it. You even said that there could be moral discussion on healthcare. I think that's fucking great. I think it's fucking great that if people want to say that there's actually room to fucking talk about it. I think it should be talked about. I think it could be done. I think there's every reason to do it. Do I think that it will cost money? Yes, I do think it would cost money. Do I think that the overall benefits would outweigh the costs? Yes, I do. I think that everything that you can do to ensure the health of your populace, be it bodily health, be it mental health. I mean, fuck's sake, this is what RFK is saying, right? He wants us all to be healthy again, right? Okay, all right. Then let's start creating services. Let's start creating systems, okay, that are really dedicated to that are really interested in making people healthy. It might be unpopular to say that it will cost money, but going all the way back to grasping long-term issues, I think if young voters coming up were growing up with an expectation that, yeah, some of the really fucking important shit will cost money, but it will end up being financially profitable to make people healthy. I really think that everyone that supports Project 2025 should rethink their moral views, and representing everyone that voted for Trump or are affiliated to the Republican Party is against it, except like 2 or 3 that I wish weren't part of the party itself. New Republican Party should and must serve the people. Now, I want to ask a hard question. What, in your opinion, will be what you are looking out for, right? So, what do you want to see them do? What are you hoping that they're going to do? And what are you going to be critical of them for doing? The immigration thing, right, is center of like Trump's campaign. And I don't know how you're going to fucking round up as many fucking people as he says he wants to do. He says he wants to round up, was it like 20 million? I don't know how you're going to round up 20 fucking million people, store them in camps until it's, like they're removed, they're sent away or whatever. And that just not be very fucking expensive. And let's be real, optically bad, It's something I'm expecting. Free national healthcare should be a priority. Once national security will not be a problem. Okay, so yeah, we're already tying into it. The moment any American should go to the streets and feel safe, and once that is secure, the healthcare should be safe and free for those that cannot pay, and also not corrupt. Sorry, can you ask me that again? The main things, like I said, that you'll be looking out for, that you will be critical of this administration doing, right? Because like I said, I think immigration is going to be, there's going to be immigration and deporting illegals, right? And he's saying he wants to deport 20 million. And that is going to involve rounding them up, putting them in camps. Something that I think this is a very real thing that's coming. It was very central to his campaign, and it's something that I don't think is going to look good. I don't think it's going to be expensive. It's going to be very fucking expensive, and I don't see the net benefits of it. I know that there's a very diverse opinion on what immigrants are doing to the country. I know that there's a very strong opinion that immigrants are bringing in a lot of crime. I don't believe statistics support it, but I can understand if you feel differently on that. I know that, like you said, security is very important, national security. So, yeah. What will you be mostly watching out for that they as they get to work?
And also what you said there about the moment any American should go to the streets and feel safe. Like, I mean, what criteria do you think would achieve that? Because like it's been shown repeatedly that like Americans don't really want like more cops on the streets to try and do that. Because they feel it kind of has the exact opposite problem most of the time, where more cops in the street just causes more shit to go down rather than actual have the safety effect. And if you put more cops in the street, then you have the optics of are we the fascist state now, because there's literally cops in every street corner watching you everything you go. Are you? Is that safe at that point, or is it the Big Brother watching you 24/7 surveillance stuff? Like, I mean, there's like, what would you say would be the criteria for that? For like the moment when American go to the streets and feel safe, like what criteria would you have for that to say is accomplished?
Also, as a Latino person that lives part-time, I wish that they would go after the illegal criminals that come and go in the border cities. The supply of drugs and human trafficking that happens on the south is ridiculous, and any serious country would have done with that as soon as they could. Would it surprise you to know that the data shows that the majority of drugs entering the country come in through legal points of entry? I believe that the actual amount of drugs going over the border actually makes up a very small percentage. Because it's actually traveling in and out with legal citizens. Because, again, just my general understanding of it, that's easier. Supposedly that's easier. And it would make sense. I mean, if it's coming in with a legal citizen, obviously that's a stupid fucking risk to take, but it removes a certain degree of suspicion. We need a total revamp of the police training and structure, changes on the educational system, and we need to change the illegal drugs and the legal ways that comes. We need a total revamp of the entire system. And I had a question, I wanted to ask, like you said, as a Latino person, does it concern you in any capacity how, like I said, a very central part of the messaging was anti-immigrant, okay? Anti-illegal immigrant. Does it concern you that, can we at least agree that they were definitely vilified? Whether it's justified or not, right? Whether they actually are criminal or not, right? In the messaging, okay, illegal immigrants were made to sound, okay, wait, no, there's more. No. I know you're legal. That's not where I'm going with it. All right? The way that they were spoken about, the way that they were described, okay, there's certain dehumanization to them, okay, and animosity is fostered towards them. Does it concern you, okay, that you would ever receive prejudice as a Latino person from somebody just assuming, okay, from somebody just, let's call it just being racist, okay? They're mad at illegals, and they just assume.
Yeah. And this isn't even the isolated to America. Like, we've seen it in the UK. The Tory party ran several times on the campaign of fuck the foreigners in this country. Yes. Like they're stealing our jobs and stuff. All that happened was hate crimes went up, but like nobody was saying, but where's the stats proving that the illegals are doing all the shit? We've had it here in Ireland, unfortunately, where we've had fucking right-wing rights of some of the fucking right-wing parties have come out right and said like, oh yeah, it's the foreigners, they're the reasons why you don't have housings and shit. And all that's happened is hate crimes have gone up. It doesn't matter if they're against people who came into the country legally or illegally or anything. It just matters that you talk with a different accent or you have the wrong skin color as far as they're concerned, and you're attacked. Doesn't matter. Like, oh, but he's a doctor. He came in here on a full scholarship, and he's the cornerstone of our healthcare. It doesn't matter. Because I think America's kind of like the same way, where it's not just we're not just saying it's isolated to America. It's once you start saying it's the foreigners are the problem coming into the country legally, and then in all that kind of seems to happen from that is we can talk because it's we can't compare the immigrants in Europe with the illegals in America, because we have problems with migration. Ireland especially, it's one of the big things for our election. We've election at the end of this month, and it's one of the big things that's been constantly said is our housing and healthcare systems are fucked because of all of the illegal immigrants and the refugees and migrants, the war in Ukraine and whatnot, and they're the burden, and that's why everything is so expensive and so bad. But all that's happening that we've seen is that the actual... No, I'll stop you right there. Immigrants in Ireland, that's not what our media is saying.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, let them disagree. It's okay. Yeah. We're just discussing.
Yeah. Like they're getting on boats and whatnot. It's the same in the UK as well. That's the whole thing. Channel crossing. There's literally they're stopping the foreigners coming in.
If I may paraphrase, like we're just saying that we've seen essentially the same kind of narrative pushed, and we've seen that the result of that is that you get a lot of targeted aggression towards people who are here legally. People who are in a country legally, and that's the core of the question I was asking. I was like, do you have any concern about overlap? Like I said, from just, for lack of a better term, from an ignorant party. Can't compare the immigrants in Europe with the illegals in America. The immigrants in Ireland come legally. They don't cross the border, sponsored by cartels. No, you don't. How they are crossing your border? Are they swimming? No, they're not swimming. They're not swimming, and that's fine. I did want to come back.
They are actually for UK as well. They are actually for the UK, in fairness, because there is actual channel crossing stuff where they are actually being, where there's literally reports and showing where the UK government refusing to actually help crafts in trouble, which is a huge fucking huge big deal. But it comes kind of back down to it's the same mentality of like, okay, we're trying to say that there's illegals coming into the country who are causing issues, and we have it here in Ireland. They have it over in the UK, where it's a similar messaging of it's the immigrants are coming in here, they're causing the crime, they're causing all the stuff, and most of them are undocumented, they're not vetted properly, they're claiming to be refugees when they're not. There's no data to back this up. It's just, it feels like this, and it's the handiest scapegoat for like, why is anything bad? Oh, it must be the foreigners draining resources that we could be using. Why are we? And America kind of seems to be doing the same thing as well, where it's not quite where they're using the scapegoat of the drug problem and whatnot in America. Like it's just like for like, because like we have it here in Ireland where it's like scapegoating the immigrants for being here, to the point where all we've seen is hate crime rising rather than actually anything. Like nobody's talking about how to fix anything. It's just we have a scapegoat, and then hate crimes go up, and that's it. There's no.
That's very specific to Ireland. Like there are very unique issues, obviously, in Ireland as well, where we've long since had, I suppose, we've long since had some similar kind of like problems that. Again, I want to tie back to material conditions, right? And what I guess what we're both, well, myself and Vincent are both saying is that we see that a lot of times there are problems like material conditions going way back to, like you said, like what you call, will I be able to afford a fucking house, right? And somehow these issues will often be circled back around to immigrants, right? I mean, there was definitely a lot of talk of that. They were saying that like all the housing has been given to immigrants. Immigrants are taking all the money, not paying taxes. Some of that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I don't understand how the messaging can be that immigrants have all of the jobs, but they pay no taxes, right? Illegal immigrants. They have all the jobs, they pay no taxes. Like, are they sending money out of the country in like huge amounts? Because obviously, I'm sure to some degree, yes, illegal immigrants are sending money out of the country in some degree, right? I mean, that's obviously a big part of like immigration is come somewhere where you can make money because you can't make money. And again, I think a huge part of like why these people are coming, I don't think this is all just criminals being sent over here. I do think a huge part of what's driving migration is climate migration. I think these people who cannot make a living anymore due to just like their fucking farms are failing because we're having some weird climate issues. You know, we're having hottest year on record, and so like I was saying, I think that it doesn't make sense to me. You know, like how are they soaking up all the money? How is it being soaked up, but it's not trackable? It feels like something that would be pretty easy to put the foot down on.
Yeah, it's like the movie industry going. We estimate piracy costs us $100 billion a year. It's like, what's that figure pulled from? And it's kind of just, you know, and that's
we did a study. You know, like,
and it's like, where are you pulling the actual number you're losing from here? And the answer is, that's how much we feel we're losing from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, burping like right here.
Not against immigrants, we're against illegal people. Regardless, they don't contribute through the taxes citizens have to pay. Any type of crime, felonies or not, they can't be traced. The drug pandemic is devastating states. All comes to just let anyone come without some type of security. But would you agree that it is incentivized to come here illegally because the process of coming here legally has become more difficult, right? And I'm saying that as somebody who went through the system, right, to come to this country legally. Okay, I know there's a couple of fucking hoops involved. Okay, and it was still difficult even with my complexion. You know.
Yeah. You're an illegal ignorant, as we.
They like to call me an illegal ignorant. I can only imagine. Like, sorry, and another aspect that I want to fucking point out as well. It was expensive. It was like what you call the process of legally immigrating, right? Is time consuming and expensive. Do you think that is a factor that contributes to, or should I say, incentivizes coming here illegally? Like, do you think that maybe if we streamlined the process of immigrating here, would that not be a better way to deal with all the illegal immigrants? Would that not like even the ones that are here now, like, wouldn't it be better than trying to round them all up, right, as just a plan, round them all up and kick them out? Wouldn't it be better to start rounding them up, and start being like, okay, you're here now. All right, if you just want to stay here, this is your path to being legalized, to being naturalized. Even though I know that the opposite is the plan. They're planning to revoke some, right? Wouldn't it be better to assimilate and then essentially make them taxpayers? Why would anyone agree to go there to be hunted, not having a good job, not being able to grow and live the American dream? Why would anyone who wants to go there to be hunted, not having a good job, What do you mean? Go there to be hunted.
There's also one thing about the whole like seeking asylum and whatnot. A lot of people think like, oh, you stand in Mexico and you shout out, "I would like asylum." It's not how it works. You have to be in the country before you can claim it. So like that's why there is a chunk of why did they come into the country legally, because they have to be on American soil before they can apply for asylum or refugee status or whatnot.
But sorry,
is it perfect? No, but it's across the board.
No, but sorry, to go back, there's literally no way you'll have a better life illegally. But if you can't actually continue your way of life in your country, if you're a farmer, if you cannot farm anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, then absolutely you're going to have a better life illegally. You know, your alternative is to be out of work in your country. But someone from Latin America go to the US without being able to grow, be rich, and get your family to be there. Lack of options, I guess. Like I said, I do. I really think that the leading contributor here is the climate migration. Like I said, it's them fight for your country and your legal rights. But how do you fight nature? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm saying the material conditions again. Like have kind of forced their hand, you know. I think that like if things are changing, like I mean, if your way of life is sustained by an ability to live a certain way, if your country is sustained by that, and a ecological crisis is occurring, what are you supposed to do about that? Like there isn't a rational and convenient, in no disrespect, but there's these points that are based on Latin countries. That is not me saying that they're stupid. I am not calling them stupid. You are not stupid because you can't fight nature. It's not an intelligence issue. That's not a skill issue. What climate changes? It's Latin America. Yes. Yeah, that's right. I know, I understand. But it is getting hotter. Your North people are the ones
Fucking it up.
Fucking it up. Yeah. No, but that doesn't mean that climate
It doesn't mean your
change.
house in yeah.
It's a
It doesn't
global
mean
issue.
your farm in Latin America is because someone's polluting in fucking Texas. It doesn't happen in a bubble.
What kind of climate changes affect Central? So okay, all right. So climate change, like, is global. Like, you can't. This has been gradually happening for years. Like, this is the whole issue with why everyone is so concerned about changing climate. Like, it's not just Latin America. It's not just America. It's not just in Ireland. Even the fucking lads will tell you, lads, how the last couple of fucking summers been in Ireland?
Fuck that. Winters. How the winters fucking the winters. This is fucking November. It should be freezing cold. I can walk around in a t-shirt and fucking jeans. I should not be able to do that in Irish climate. It's fucking.
I'm wearing shorts right now. It's November. It's November 8th. I'm wearing shorts. Like. Hang on. Sorry. 1 second. You know, like it's been an abnormally warm autumn. And again, sorry, yes, you'll say sorry, but global is literally people upside of the equator. And I feel like we're touching on something here. And tell me more about what that means.
That's news to me.
No. I am quite serious. I want to know more about what your opinion on this is. In fact, the Amazon rainforest is in Brazil. You people should pay us for keeping you alive. 100%. Listen, you are talking to somebody who strongly believes that, yeah, we should all be fucking working together a bit more. We should be fucking taking this stuff a bit more seriously. We should be fucking preserving the Amazon rainforest, and maybe subsidize the Amazon rainforest a little bit.
Like to do with the fucking ozone layer. Like we had fucking like the ozone layer was a problem. Remember is CFCs and fucking aerosols and shit really bad for the ozone. Let's fix that. And we came together as a global society and said, okay, get rid of CFCs out of shit. And there's.
But it's sorry, but I just want to bring it back to. But like I'm fully agreeing with you that yes, one side has absolutely played a significantly disproportionate role in fucking it up. But I guess what I'm trying to get across to you is that it does affect what you call like it's a border hopping issue. You know what I mean? It doesn't respect boundaries. Like how climate change affects you is, I think the easiest way I could explain it is if you imagine that the excess heat that's caused by climate change, yes, that is absorbed into the oceans, okay? And over time, this continues to absorb. We let in, right? Even if, like you said, if the ozone layer is damaged in one spot, okay, it's letting in a disproportionate amount of heat. It's accumulating. It's accumulating in the oceans, and it continues to accumulate. It continues to add an energy that was not present before. As more and more energy is added, eventually that energy needs to release. And how that releases is when we start to see these really dramatic kind of like weather anomalies that we're seeing, like hottest years on record and shit like that. Like, I mean, these, again, like I said, these are not respecting boundaries. These are affecting everyone. Like, I'm not aware of any country that's been immune to the climate crisis. It's just fundamentally an issue that is not localized. It's a growing issue. Great. Let's talk of Tuvalu or the other Polynesian countries that are sinking. There's nothing justifying climate change to Latin America invading legally the US.
I think invading is a bit of a charged term there because it's not the Latin American army coming in. Like it's people. Yeah. It's not the state or country invading. It's people.
Yeah. Look, whatever you want to call it. Like I fundamentally, believe that there is a crisis, and it's not not anyone's fault. Well, no, it is, but like in Latin America, like what you call it, they're seeing consequences of it. You know what I mean? Like it's the cartels of North Mexico invading. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a cartel problem. Yeah, I get that. And probably not fucking helping conditions and things like that. But I think these are all smaller aspects of the larger problem. I think it comes down to this climate issue. It's bigger. It's bigger than every other aspect that we're discussing. Desperation drives people to do things, and I think that's where. Sorry, by the way, that the green screen's fucking up. By the way, I can give you instances that there's consequences of climate change affecting South America, but nothing to justify a large immigration. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know what else really to fucking say on that. But there's nothing to be desperate about. I don't know. I gotta be like, I don't know. You gotta look into maybe the climate migration aspect of it a little bit more. I don't know how much of this is new to you. I think maybe if you do want it, like I said, no joke when I say it. Like, if you want to do your own research on this, that's fine. And I know that that's a big part of it, is that it's not something that they want to message on. I know that this is one of the other criticisms I have with Republicans. They don't want to message on climate issues. It's unpopular to talk about the problem. And I think it's because it would be expensive. This is friendly debate. This is absolutely friendly. Yes. Friendly discussion, because to share a little bit more, what is the large glowing thing behind me? That's the fucking...
It's the heat death of the
That's the
universe.
That's the communist agenda.
That's the window. That's the fucking light is coming through. It's called the moon. It's called the moon. Absolutely no,
We've
but
seen that once or twice in our life.
but just to share, it's like, no, I would be somebody who liked to just engage in discourse with people, just to tell them why I think they're stupid, why I think they're wrong, and all this kind of shit. And I've kind of rethought that a little bit, and I think that, like, I don't think that helps. Even if I enjoyed it, even if I enjoy going in and going, well, this is why you're wrong, well, this is why you're stupid, it's not fucking productive, is it? It's not really going to change anything, is it? Like, if I go and I start just trying to say, well, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, you're stupid, like, are you going to fucking come away from talking to me being like, hey, you know what, he had some valid points? No, you're going to come away from that fucking conversation pissed off with me, calling me a fucking woke libtard or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's not
There is
gonna...
one question.
Go on.
I like makes well for this. So we're talking about, like, Democrats reaching across to Republicans. What steps would you say, Shay, that Republicans could do to reach across to Democrats' side?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that Republicans could do to take a step back and go, okay, we're pissing off the Democrat voters here. What could we do to win them over?
The facts thing. Yes, we could do that. We could start fucking getting into, like, digging up, like, articles and facts and things like that. But I also don't think that's productive either. I think what's much more productive is to actually talk about where we're coming from. And I suppose it's more about, like, curiosity. Me trying to fucking rub facts or whatever in your face, yeah? It sort of serves the same kind of fucking purpose. Again, like that. It's not really going to be effective if you're not interested. So I'm hoping more than anything to encourage curiosity. I'm not an expert on any of these fucking things. I'm not. But
sorry, just a quick. When you say "but they won over," are you saying that the Republicans won over Democrats because the voting figures didn't show that? They showed that less people vote for Democrats. Trump didn't gain Democrat voters. He just people didn't vote for Democrats, which there is a distinction for. But could it just tie back to, so Democrats have been told to calm down the woke agenda and stuff like that. That's how they're going to appeal to the Republican base. What do you think the other way around could be for Republicans to actually win over the Democrat voters? Because that should be a goal as well. Like, not just, what can Democrats do to shut the fuck up and and reach and compromise and whatnot for Republicans, but like, what can the Republicans do?
I have a solution. They can give us big tits back in video games. Big tits in video games now.
Follow you to the earth, sir.
It's been too long.
Isn't that all that anybody really wants?
Yes. Do you got big tits in video games?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bipartisan issue. It's about time. They were too ashamed to vote for their own party to win the election, but winning their vote, I'm not fully all for that, because I hope for always a good competition. I do think that I really do think that the material changes in the number of votes this year were a downturn of Democrats. I think Democrats were depressed out of the polls, right? And there's absolutely evidence to to benefit that, or sorry, not benefit that. Jesus Christ. There's evidence of that where you've got like things like the uncommitted vote, and like you had like more progressives and stuff like that. Just people who were Democrat voters before feeling like they're not represented, so they don't fucking turn up. Like fuck, anecdotally, right? Anecdotally. We even saw, remember Tom, you sent me that fucking video of that one saying she voted down across the fucking ballot for Democrats, except for Kamala, who she voted for Trump because she wanted to punish Kamala, you know?
Yep.
What do we do? What is that? What do you do with that? You know? But I don't know. Like I said, I do find that the culture war shit is the least productive element of all this. I don't like that valuable discussions are being locked behind the culture war behind that's on your team, that's I gotta say no to that, I gotta dunk on that, you know. We gotta move past that. We gotta be sorry.
One thing with just for winning their vote, like, do you not think that Republicans should be trying to get some Democrat voters on board with their policies and stuff, as a thing from just hoping that Republicans vote for Republican or they don't vote, and Democrats vote for Democrats or they don't vote? Because that doesn't seem productive either, where it's either you vote for Team A or you don't vote, instead of has Team B got anything to offer.
No,
so it should be.
He's more or less made that point earlier himself. Like he said that it was much earlier, but he said that in his opinion the Biden administration didn't do anything. It's hard to argue. It wasn't a great run. You know, what's not a great run.
Yeah.
He said, give it to the other guy who did things, being things that like I said, I criticized as being short-term things that don't have pan-outs. I honestly believe that they converted a lot of Democrat votes, especially on the young margins, as all I said. So sorry, going back to it, I think that, I think we just had less Democrat turnout, and I do strongly believe that a lot of Trump's voters are new voters. They're low propensity voters. I think that's a huge thing to consider, right? He targeted low propensity voters, people who don't normally vote. They don't turn up, right? And they did show up, people who don't normally vote. And his numbers were about the same as 2020. So I think there was rollover. I think some fell off of his base, but I think they were replaced by new voters. Once again, I hope that people have a virtuous thinking, not a mindset of football teams like my team have to win. I think it's too much. I think there's too much football team thinking already in this.
There is, yeah.
There's much too much. I think it already is there to a great degree. And we definitely see that on local levels. I absolutely see it. You just sort of see lads, that they're wearing the shirts, they're flying the flags, and that they're a huge part of that for them is they know that it upsets people that they don't like. Problem where they see their parties as a football team, and yet they never question their own party. And that's it. That's what I want. I want.
We would hear in Ireland where why are you voting Fine Gael? Sure, Ma always voted Fine Gael, and
my father voted for his father, and I voted for him, and you'll vote for his son. But but this is what I want. I want people to be curious. Okay, let's be fucking curious here, right? If you come away from anything that we've been talking about here, okay, any fucking degree of this conversation that we have, this is not about me being like, hey, you have to agree with me, you have to say that you changed your fucking mind. I would hope that from the exchange you've come away with a little curiosity about a couple of things, and if you want to look into them, good. If you don't want to look into them, that's fine, that's your choice. But I don't want to be like, look at it, read it. Hang on, do I have paper? I don't have paper. Look at it, read it. I've got my facts. because we could fucking do that all day. We could just go back and forth. Well, I've got my own facts, you know. There's a funny meme, I think, of dogs barking at each other, where they've got lads talking about, well, I got all these facts, and he's like, well, I got these facts. It's whatever. It's not productive. It's not productive. I would just say, yeah, just be watching them. Be watching them. Watch what they're gonna do. Ask yourself what you want them to do, and see how they're delivering on that. See who's benefiting from what they do. I would say this of both political parties. Whenever they make a decision, whenever they choose to do something, see who is benefiting from it. Like follow the fucking money, right? Follow the money. And ask yourself, wait a minute. Was this for me, or was this for some very fucking narrow group of people? I hope you guys think about my points, like as a friendly person debating. Absolutely, 100%, 100 fucking %. I will, and I promise you, like seriously, we are thinking about it, like what you call where you're coming from. And it was a big thing for me. Yes, was what you're feeling about like climate change and things like that, and I want to know more about the messaging that goes into what people are feeling about the immigrants, where the immigrants are coming from, and why. And I want to know more about that. I want to know where all the reasoning is coming from, you know? Maybe we can get a better way of thinking. Yes. Like, this is never going to be gotchas. This is never going to be like doing gotchas. I also don't know how frequently we're going to do this, but yeah. This isn't about clout. This isn't about gotchas. I don't know. I don't care. I have one goal. I'm worried about the youth. I am a father.
Wait. You're flip-flopping. You said your one goal was big tits back in video games. Now it's about the youth. I'm sorry, but I'm a single-issue voter. So
I'm getting confused as well, because I don't want to combine those two, big tits video games and the youth. Big tits on the youth? Is that what we're saying?
Someone clip that into the TikTok.
But no, sorry. I'm a father, and I've got 2 boys, and I think a lot about the world that they're growing up in, and I am concerned about the youth. Not concerned so much, obviously, about my boys, but I want to talk to the youth, and I want to know where they're coming from. I want to know what they're thinking about, and that's it. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk to Tom much.
Sorry about
that. Tom just fucking goes quiet like he always fucking does.
I was away for like an hour.
I know you were. I was actually thinking to myself, did one of your parents drop in?
Yeah, pretty much. Had to step away.
Had to step away. There was one point actually where I called out to you, and you were like, what you call
silence.
Like, Tom? It's like, no word from Tom. No word from Tom. Also, and I wanted to say as well, if you're here and you're new, I most of the time I just play fucking video games, and I do that in the evenings, and I'll probably do that, and it won't be political, and it'll just be video games, and I'll talk about tits. And one thing I forgot to mention, I and a lot of people went for border immigration. We do want people to be legalized if they come here illegally. But once they are confirmed to come as refugees, they get a citizenship, and only criminals get deported. Okay? And like I said, if that's an important issue for you, I hope you are watching how the administration handles that issue for you. And you're critical of them if they're not handling it the way you want, right? That's fair. I think we all want people to handle shit fairly. However, I hope video game tits for everyone. Come on. All right, we're gonna leave it here. I enjoyed this. I think this was a good first one. We'll see you all again next time. Good luck and thanks.
Next time.
Good luck.